What if God's power was about to be revealed in a way no one could possibly ignore? Imagine one of the most dramatic showdowns in history, filled with heart-pounding suspense, nail-biting tension, and a little bit of holy terror. Let's set the scene. The nation of Israel had lost its way. The people had turned their backs on God, the one who had rescued them and made them a nation. But the irony was suffocating. Under the reign of the wicked king Ahab and his notorious wife, Queen Jezebel, the land was anything but fertile. A devastating famine gripped the nation. For 3.5 long years, not a single drop of rain had fallen from the sky. The fields were barren, the rivers had dried to a trickle, and the people were starving. Hope was a distant memory, and despair was the air they breathed. But into this bleak and desperate landscape, God sent a man, a rugged, fearless prophet named Elijah. He was a man on a mission, carrying a message directly from the heavens. Elijah strode into the heart of the crisis and confronted King Ahab, the very man who blamed him for all of Israel's troubles. But Elijah wasn't there to argue. He was there to issue a challenge, a divine dare that would settle the question of who the true God was once and for all. Elijah declared a national showdown. He told Ahab to gather all the people of Israel on Mount Carmel. And not just the people, but also the 450 prophets of the false god Baal and the 400 prophets of the goddess Asherah, who were all supported by Queen Jezebel. The stage was set for a contest of epic proportions. The challenge was simple, yet profound. Elijah laid out the terms. You prepare an altar and a bull for a sacrifice, and you call on the name of your God. The next day, the slopes of Mount Carmel were teeming with people. You could feel the tension crackling. On one side, you had hundreds of prophets of Baal, confident in their numbers and their royal patronage. On the other side stood a single, solitary figure, Elijah, one man against nearly 1,000. The odds seemed impossibly stacked against him. The prophets of Baal went first. They meticulously built their altar, prepared their bull, and laid it upon the wood. Then they began to pray. They called out to Baal, "O Baal, answer us," they cried. Morning turned to noon. The sun climbed higher, beating down relentlessly on the parched mountain. Elijah, watching this pathetic display, couldn't resist. His words were like salt in their wounds. Goaded by his mockery, the prophets of Baal went into a frenzy. They danced wildly around their altar. They shouted until their voices were hoarse. They even began to slash themselves with swords and spears, a desperate and bloody ritual to get their gods' attention. The hours dragged on. The spectacle became more and more desperate. The crowd watched, their initial excitement turning into a mixture of pity, unease, and perhaps a flicker of doubt. The power they had put their faith in was proving to be powerless. The suspense was unbearable. The sun began its descent toward the western sea, and still there was no fire, no voice, no answer. Then it was Elijah's turn. The crowd fell silent as the lone prophet stepped forward. He didn't build a new altar. He didn't shout, he didn't dance or cut himself. He simply prayed. Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel and that I am your servant, and have done all these things at your command. Answer me, Lord, answer me, so these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back to you again. It was a simple prayer, a direct appeal to the one true God, and then it happened in an instant. Fire fell from heaven. A torrent of divine fire descended with terrifying speed and precision. It completely consumed the sacrifice. It burned up the water-soaked wood. It vaporized the 12 large stones of the altar and scorched the very dust beneath it. And then, with a mighty hiss, it licked up every last drop of water that was in the trench. A column of smoke and fire roared toward the sky. Not in excitement, but in sheer terror and awe. A single cry rose from the thousands gathered on the mountain, a unified confession of truth. The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. The Israelites, now awakened to the truth, obeyed. The false prophets who had led the nation astray and mocked the power of God faced their judgment. This incredible story is so much more than just ancient history. It's a vivid reminder for us today. And He is waiting for us to turn back to Him, maybe before our own lives become dry and barren. Thank you so much for watching. If this story impacted you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content that dives deep into these powerful truths. And share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.